In this lesson, we're going to be going over the timeline and the workspace around it. I'm going to be showing you the tools that are going to be available to you, as well as a couple other things that you are going to be able to find on the timeline. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. As you can see, I do have a CapCut open here. And what I'm going to do here to get started is to import a video onto the timeline. Okay, some of these tools, you're not going to be able to see them until you have a video on the timeline here. Okay, now let's see here. We can, to add the video, you can go ahead and click the plus button here. It'll just add it to the track that's open, or you can click, drag, and drop the video here. All right, so let's put that over here. All right, so now we have our videos on the timeline. So you can kind of like move the playhead in order to kind of like, preview the video here in our player. Now you can see that on the far right side, this is going to give you the video properties such as, the video, the audio speed, animation tracking, as well as adjustment. Okay. Now to you can move through this, go like that, and then you go to our other video here that we have. Okay, so just to start at the top here, we have our toolbar here, which is going to allow us to manipulate the things that are within this video. The first one is going to be, if you click this drop down, see that there is different versions of the split here. So A is going to be the select, and you have the second option, which is going to be the split. So if you have that, this is kind of like a razor that you can move around here. So I can click here, split that, split this, kind of like that. Okay, there's also other options here, such as the select leftward. So if I click on this and I click a clip here, it's going to select whatever is on the left side of the split clip here. Now the opposite side of this is going to be select rightward. So if I want to select everything that's on the right of this, I can click that. It's going to select everything on the right of this, which is these two clips. Okay, so here, this one, I'm going to go ahead and hit the select, which can allow me to select different things. Now moving on to this, we also have the undo, which is Control Z as a shortcut on the keyboard. We also have redo. So if I go ahead and hit undo, right, you can also do redo as well. Now here we also have the split tool here. You can click on that and it's gonna go ahead and allow you. So if I go over here and I click split, this allows you to split exactly where the playhead is at. So this is different from the razor tool that you can click on here, click on split. This allows you to kind of like move around and select where you want to split here by just clicking on the screen. You don't have to necessarily move the playhead anywhere. Okay, go ahead and switch back to my select tool. Now the next one is going to be the reverse. So if I want to reverse this clip here, so move here, you can hit this. It's going to go ahead and reverse the entire clip. Okay, so you can see it's reversing the clip. The duration is going to be based on it's going to be based on how long the clip is. Okay, if you have a longer clip, it'll probably take longer to reverse. So here, go ahead and reverse again to its original state. Now we also have a mirror. So if I want to mirror this, I can click on that. It's going to mirror that, kind of like go the opposite direction here. Okay, so if you want to mirror this, you'll be able to do that here. This is a very cool option if you want to change perspective of the video. You'll be able to do that this way. Okay, now the next one is going to be here you have the rotate. If you want to rotate the video clip, you'll be able to do that like that. So it rotates around 360, 450, 540, 630, back to 720. Okay, now the next thing I want to show you here is going to be so this is the crop. If you want to crop this video, click on that. You're gonna be able to crop the video here. I will cover this in a future lesson, but for now, this is how you are gonna be able to crop a video by clicking that. So moving on to the right side here, as you can see, we have the record. If I want to record a voiceover, I'll be able to do it this way. Now over here, we have what they call the main track magnet. Okay, I'm gonna show you how this works. So I have these two clips that are split here. If I move this right here and I just let it go, it's gonna go ahead and go back to attach itself to the full clip, right, to the main clip. Okay, this is because we have the magnet turned on. Okay, now if I turn off this magnet here, I'm gonna be able to move this around. Okay, so I prefer leaving this as is because it allows me to to not attach these two. Okay, now what I could do here is I'm gonna go ahead. You also have the auto snapping as well. You can turn that off as well. I like leaving that on because I like the clips to snap, right? So the way this works is if I have this turned on, let's say I want to move this here, right? You see that line here? Before I attach this, there's a line that's in between that. So it's gonna allow me to snap that on there, okay? So as soon as I'm close to this, it'll just snap in. I'll let go. But if I have the auto snapping turned off, now I don't have it. You're not gonna be able to see that line. So you can, literally move this anywhere. You're not gonna be able to see the line, okay? Like that. It'll just move it somewhere, okay? Now another option here is going to be the linkage here, right? So if I select these here, so if I move this, see that it's moving these two. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off linkage here, right? So now I'm gonna be able to move this on its own, okay? So some of the things I like to turn on, I would turn off this magnet because I want to be able to move freely. Now the other thing I would do is I would turn on auto snapping because I want to be able to snap into into other clips if I'm attaching into a different clip. Okay, now you also have linkage. You can turn that on as well. We also have turn on preview. So preview, I think this is really awesome because instead of moving around your playhead here, what you can do is you can select a turn on preview. So this allows you to kind of like just move your cursor around the screen, and you could just preview anything that you put it over, right? There's nothing over here. I see our video here, right? This is just a quick way to preview without having to move the playhead, and do this. Both ways work. Depending on what you're doing, you are going to be able to use both options. Okay, now we can zoom into the timeline here by clicking the zoom button here. That's how you're going to be able to zoom in. And if we look over to the far left side here of each track that we have here, we have the same options here, right? So if I'm looking at this first one here, right, this bottom one here, we have the ability to, let me go ahead and go to the beginning right here. From here to the beginning, we have the ability to, it tells you what it is. This is a video, so you see that by this video option here. So if I was going to add an audio file here, you can see that it shows you an audio icon here. So if I was going to add a picture, go ahead and add, let's see, where's a good picture? This one here is a mountain. Okay, it will show you kind of like, shows you that this is an image. Okay, now the second one's going to be the lock track. So if you want to lock a track here, so let's say I'm editing this video, this looks great, I don't want to accidentally make any changes, you can lock this track here. No changes are going to be able to be made on this track here, right? So that's because it's locked. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and close that as well. You can also hide a track. So if I was, let's say, I have this image on top, I want to see what's underneath it, I can hide that image by clicking the eye. It's going to temporarily hide it, right? It tells you the track is hidden. Now I can view the track as well right after. We also have the sound option here where you can mute the track. So you can go ahead and click that. This is going to mute the track itself. So if you have a bunch of tracks with multiple sounds, you can mute certain tracks in order to hear the other track as well. Okay. Now there's another option here, which is going to be click to add a cover, right? So if you don't want your videos to start right away, you want to add a little intro, a little something like that, you can actually click this to add a cover. And this is where you're going to be able to find different covers here. So you can, pick whatever you want to pick here. Go ahead and hit edit, and you can select whatever you want to select here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. We'll cover this in a future lesson here. Actually, let me just show you in this lesson. Okay, so let's say I wanted to, use this part of the clip here as cover. Go ahead and edit. Now there's also templates that you can use, right? Default is just gonna use this as the cover. Okay, now we can choose any of these default templates that you can use on there. Okay, you can also add text on it. So I'm just going to hit complete. And there you go. Now we have a little cover here at the beginning of our, track here. Okay, now you can delete this if you don't want this. I don't really use this. I'm gonna go ahead and confirm delete, and I usually just have my video here. I can imagine that is what you're trying to do if you're editing a video. Right, if your video here, probably have your intro here as well. Now that is how you are gonna be able to navigate this timeline here. It's nothing too complicated. Everything pretty much makes sense. Nothing is all over the place. You can see a lot of things here that you can use. Okay, now that is pretty much it for this lesson. I'll see you guys on the next one.